Have you ever woken up one morning and realized that all the things you used to chase no longer light a fire inside you? Maybe you once felt alive climbing the career ladder, setting ambitious goals, or proving yourself through achievements. You poured energy into making more money, earning recognition, or showing the world you were somebody. And for a while it worked. Each accomplishment gave you a quick high. But now, strangely, that hunger is gone. You don't care about keeping up with others. You don't care about polishing your image. You don't care about the very things that used to define you. And deep down, part of you wonders, what's wrong with me? It can feel unsettling when you no longer share the same obsession with success that everyone else around you still seems to worship. Colleagues compete for promotions. Friends brag about milestones. Social media glorifies hustle culture. And there you are, sitting in the middle of it all, asking yourself, do I even want any of this anymore? It feels like the fire burned out, leaving you in a strange stillness. Here's the truth you need to hear. Nothing is wrong with you. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You're not broken. What you're experiencing is the first unmistakable ripple of spiritual awakening. And when awakening enters your life, it doesn't just shift what you do, it transforms why you do it. The chase that once consumed you suddenly looks hollow, and you begin to see the cracks in the system you used to worship. This shift is confusing because society trains us to believe success equals worth. From the moment we're young, we're told to work harder, dream bigger, achieve more. The message is loud and relentless. If you're not climbing, you're falling behind. But awakening disrupts that message. It pulls back the curtain and reveals that the race you've been running wasn't even designed for your soul. It was designed for your ego. That's why it feels like something in you has died. In reality, it's not you dying, it's the illusion. And what rises in its place is a quiet but powerful question. If I stop chasing success the way I was taught, then what is true success for me? This is the strange shift, the beginning of a transformation that will take you from measuring your worth by society's scoreboard to discovering a definition of success that comes directly from your soul. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Before awakening, life feels like a race you never signed up for but somehow ended up running. From childhood, you are handed a script. Get good grades, land a respectable job, build a career, buy the house, marry, raise a family, accumulate wealth, and retire with enough comfort to finally enjoy life. At every stage, the message is the same. Do more, earn more, achieve more. And so, you run.
You run through school chasing approval. You run into adulthood chasing promotions, chasing titles, chasing validation. You collect trophies in the form of diplomas, bonuses, cars, and vacations that look impressive in photos. And for a while, these markers of progress feel satisfying. But here's the secret almost no one admits. The satisfaction never lasts. Because the moment you reach one milestone, another appears. The promotion leads to pressure for the next one. The nice house leads to envy of the bigger one. The recognition leads to hunger for even more recognition. It's a hamster wheel disguised as success. This endless race is fueled by comparison. You measure your worth against your peers, colleagues, and neighbors. Who's driving the better car? Who got the bigger raise? Who seems happier online? Without realizing it, your life becomes less about living and more about competing. You're not running toward joy, you're running away from the fear of being left behind. And society cheers you on because your endless running keeps the system alive. The cruel part is that this race feels normal because everyone else is running too. Hustle culture praises exhaustion. Social media glorifies overachievement. Even family and friends reinforce the same script. Keep going, keep climbing, keep proving yourself. And you convince yourself that one day, after enough running, you'll finally cross the finish line and feel complete. But here's the truth, that finish line doesn't exist. The more you chase, the further it moves. And the more you push, the more disconnected you feel from yourself. This is why so many high achievers reach the top and confess they feel empty inside. They climbed the ladder only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall. This old race of success is the illusion that awakening comes to shatter. Because when your soul wakes up, it no longer finds meaning in running in circles. Instead, it whispers, "What if you stepped off the wheel? What if success wasn't out there waiting for you, but already alive within you?" That whisper is the turning point. And once you hear it, the race begins to lose its grip. Awakening often arrives quietly, like a subtle crack in the glass of your reality. One day you're running full speed, chasing the same goals you've always chased, and suddenly you stop and ask yourself, why? Why am I pushing so hard? Why do I keep running after a finish line that never appears? Why do I feel emptier the more I achieve? It doesn't always come with fireworks. More often, it comes with stillness. A strange calm that makes you realize the very things you thought would complete you don't hold the same power anymore. The job title doesn't thrill you. The luxury car doesn't make you feel more alive. The compliments and recognition fade faster than ever. It's as if the illusion finally lost its shine, and for the first time, you can see through it.
That's when awakening feels like stepping off the hamster wheel. Imagine running non-stop, breathless, exhausted, believing that the wheel is the only way to survive. Then one day, you step off. At first, the silence feels overwhelming. No competition, no constant chasing, just stillness. And your mind panics because it has no idea what to do without the race. But your soul whispers, "This is what freedom feels like." This shift can be disorienting. You start questioning everything. Who defined success for me in the first place? Was it my parents, society, or culture? Did I ever stop to ask what I truly wanted? These questions are uncomfortable because they shake the foundation of your old identity, but they are also the doorway to your truth. The irony is that stepping off the wheel doesn't make you stop living. You still work, you still create, you still move forward, but the energy behind it is completely different. Before, you were chasing validation. Now you're listening for alignment. Before, your actions came from fear of not being enough. Now they begin to rise from the quiet strength of knowing you already are enough. Awakening strips away the noise long enough for you to notice something profound. Success isn't out there waiting for you at the top of a ladder. Success is in the quality of this moment. It's in how present you feel, how honest you are with yourself, and how deeply you're living your truth. And once you glimpse that reality, there's no turning back. This is why so many people feel unsettled after awakening. It's not that they've lost their drive, it's that their drive has been reborn. The old fuel of competition no longer burns. A new fuel, authenticity, peace, alignment, begins to take its place. And that is the moment you realize you didn't lose ambition, you simply outgrew it. When awakening deepens, something strange happens. You can no longer pretend the old definitions of success make sense. What once looked glamorous begins to look hollow. The expensive house that once symbolized achievement now feels like a cage filled with endless responsibilities. The prestigious title that once gave you pride begins to feel like a mask you wear just to earn respect. Even the admiration of others, which once felt like fuel, now tastes like empty calories. It's not that you suddenly despise success, it's that you see through it. Like watching a magician's trick after learning how it works, you can never go back to being impressed. You realize that most of what you were chasing was never truly yours. It was given to you by culture, family, and media, all of them projecting their idea of what a worthy life looks like. You were told to measure your happiness in numbers. Numbers in your bank account, numbers on your social media, numbers on your paycheck. But deep down, you know numbers can't measure a soul.
The illusion of success is clever because it disguises itself as necessity. Society convinces you that if you don't keep striving, you'll fall behind. So people sacrifice their health for promotions, their relationships for recognition, and their peace of mind for more digits in an account. But after awakening, you can't help but ask, falling behind according to whom? Who decided that working yourself into exhaustion is success? Who decided that impressing strangers is more important than honoring your own well-being? And once you've seen through it, you can't unsee it. You can't make yourself hungry for illusions once you've tasted truth. This is why people around you might not understand. They still see the illusion as real, and they may even judge you for stepping away from it. But inside, you know the truth. You haven't lost ambition. You've lost the appetite for pretending. And in that loss, something far more real begins to emerge. When the old version of success dissolves, you're left with a terrifying yet liberating blank space. At first, it feels like loss. The career ladder no longer motivates you. The trophies no longer sparkle, and the applause no longer fills you. Your mind panics, whispering, "If I don't care about these things anymore, what's left? Who am I without my achievements?" But over time, a deeper truth rises. Success doesn't vanish, it redefines itself. Instead of being measured by how high you climb, it's measured by how deeply you live. Instead of being about proving yourself to the world, it becomes about honoring what feels true to your soul. In this new vision, success is no longer about being ahead of others. It's about being aligned with yourself. It's not about how many people admire you, it's about whether you can look in the mirror and feel at peace with the person staring back. It's not about how much you collect, but about how light you feel when you let go of what doesn't serve you. You begin to notice the subtle but powerful shift. Before awakening, you created from fear. Fear of falling behind, fear of not being enough, fear of being forgotten. After awakening, you create from freedom. You write, build, paint, teach, or work not because you have to, but because you want to. Not because it earns applause, but because it feels alive inside you.
And here's the paradox. When you stop chasing success for the wrong reasons, you often attract a deeper kind of success than you ever imagined. People are drawn to authenticity. They can feel when your energy isn't desperate, when your words carry truth instead of performance. Your work starts to resonate on another level because it's no longer just a product of ambition, it's a reflection of your soul. That doesn't mean life becomes passive. You'll still set goals, take action, and work hard. But the energy behind it is cleaner, lighter, more joyful. You no longer chase the future as if peace lives only there. You begin to recognize that peace is available now, in the present, and that every step taken from alignment is already success in itself. This is the quiet revolution of awakening. You stop asking, "How can I get more?" and start asking, "How can I live more truthfully?" And the moment you shift that question, everything about your definition of success changes forever. Perhaps the most radical discovery after awakening is this: enough is real. Before awakening, enough was always out of reach. No matter how much you achieved, earned, or collected, there was always another mountain to climb, another goalpost moved just beyond your grasp. You told yourself, "Once I get there, then I'll feel fulfilled." But there never came. Awakening breaks that cycle. It strips away the illusion that happiness lives in the next promotion, the next purchase, the next milestone. Suddenly, you realize that peace isn't hiding in the future. It's available now. And in that moment, you step off the hamster wheel of endless striving and into the stillness of being. This realization is both unsettling and liberating. At first, your mind resists. It whispers, "If I stop chasing, won't I fall behind? Won't I become irrelevant?" But then something deeper answers. Fall behind in whose race? Irrelevant to whom?
You see clearly that most of the competition you lived in wasn't real. It was a game invented by society to keep you running, consuming, and comparing. The freedom of enough is the freedom to stop measuring your worth against others. It's the freedom to stop defining yourself by numbers, salary, followers, likes, possessions. It's the freedom to say, this moment is already whole, and so am I. And here's the irony. When you no longer need more to feel complete, life often begins to give you more. Opportunities arise, connections deepen, creativity flourishes. Not because you're forcing it, but because you've stopped leaking energy into the illusion of lack. Think about it this way. A person who believes they're starving will eat anything, even poison, just to fill the emptiness. But a person who knows they're already nourished can choose wisely, patiently, joyfully. That's what awakening does. It shows you that you were never starving for worth. You were always whole. You were simply convinced otherwise.
And when you taste that truth, even for a moment, you understand why the race never mattered. Enough isn't a finish line to cross. It's a place to live from. And once you find it, you're no longer driven by fear. You're guided by freedom. When you finally stop chasing the world's version of success, something extraordinary happens. You don't just redefine success. You begin to live beyond it. Success no longer feels like a finish line you must cross. It becomes a side effect of living in alignment. Peace replaces pressure. Presence replaces performance. Fulfillment replaces fear. You realize that true wealth isn't stored in bank accounts, but in your capacity to feel alive in ordinary moments. True recognition isn't applause from strangers, but the quiet knowing that you're walking your path honestly. True freedom isn't climbing higher on society's ladder, but stepping off it completely and discovering you never needed it to begin with. This shift also transforms your relationships. You stop competing, comparing, and proving. Instead, you start connecting. You listen more deeply. You give more authentically. You love without calculation. And strangely, the more you let go of the need to impress, the more people are drawn to your presence. Not because you're chasing them, but because truth has a gravity of its own. But let's be honest, this stage can feel disorienting at first. The old world still screams that success is everything. Ads, headlines, and even family voices may pressure you to return to the race. And some days you'll be tempted. Some days the old hunger will echo in your chest. That's okay. Awakening isn't about never feeling the pull of the illusion again. It's about seeing it for what it is and choosing differently. Living beyond success doesn't mean you stop creating or dreaming. It means you no longer create out of fear or dream out of lack. You build because it brings you joy. You give because it feels alive. You say yes to what expands you and no to what drains you. And over time, you realize that this way of living is success. Not the fragile kind that depends on circumstances, but the unshakable kind that no one can take away. So if you've been feeling like you no longer care about the things you once chased, trust it. That's not failure. That's freedom. That's your soul reminding you that you were never meant to live for someone else's definition of success. You were meant to live in alignment with your own truth. And now, here's my challenge for you. Pause and ask yourself, what does success mean to my soul, not my mind? Write it down. Share it. Let it become the compass that guides you forward. Because the world doesn't need more people chasing ladders. The world needs more people awake, alive, and free. If this message speaks to you, subscribe and share your story below. Your voice may be the exact reminder someone else needs to break free from the illusion. And together, we can show the world what real success looks like.